from now. What you're looking at is a computer-generated visualization based on real-time telemetry from Integrity. Currently traveling about 16,000 miles an hour. Integrity traveling about 16,000 miles an hour.
For the prop cautions, we're taking a look.
Copy that.
Now just about 5,100 miles from Earth. Splashdown scheduled 43 minutes from now. We're just 9.5 minutes away from the crew module service module separation. We are confirming.
Integrity, we are assessing details, but so far looks like a good hot fire.
Looks good on board, Jackie. Thank you.
And Jackie Mahaffey took the words out of my mouth. I was just about to say that we had a good hot fire test of the thrusters in advance of the crew module service module separation that's coming up just 8.5 minutes from now. This will begin the period in which we will have rapid-fire succession of critical activities on board that will lead to entry interface just 28 minutes from now, where the vehicle will enter the Earth's atmosphere at an altitude of 400,000 feet. The time of entry interface, 6:53 and 30 seconds p.m. Central Time. Integrity's astronauts were awakened at mid-morning to begin their entry preparations. And propulsion officer now reports a good hot fire test in preparation for the crew module service module separation. We're now inside 41 minutes until splashdown.
Integrity Houston, we have confirmed a good CMRCS hot fire, and although we are not seeing GPS acquired yet, you can skip the troubleshooting steps in 157 for now.
Integrity copies.
That GPS discussion indicating that we will be acquiring navigational data for Integrity through the Global Positioning System equipment on board. We just don't have it yet, but we will. All of Integrity's systems are in great shape to support its high-speed entry into the Earth's atmosphere. It, once again, will reach a peak speed of 24,661.21 miles an hour.
Your call, GPS. We at least have GPS 1 looking good on board.
We are confirming.
The Guidance, Navigation, and Control Officer here in Mission Control confirming that we have good lock on GPS data. We are on a communications link now through the Tracking and Data Relay satellite system. Now, following splashdown, we're going to lose that link and go to what's called a VLDR, a very low data rate communications link, so that we can talk to the crew inside Integrity as they are on the water.
Integrity, confirm we do see good GPS.
We do too, especially GPS 1 is accepting in nav channels 1 and 3.
That GPS data is basically telling Integrity's onboard computers its position relative to the Earth, but its trajectory and its orientation according to flight dynamics and the guidance, navigation, and control officer is spot on. We have now armed the pyros for the crew module service module separation coming up less than 5 minutes from now. Once again, just 10 seconds after entry interface, we will see Integrity reaching its peak speed of 24,661.21 miles per hour. That will be just seconds before we begin a 6-minute blackout period.
Integrity, Houston. Your vehicle is in a good config for CM-SM SEP and go for CM raise.
Houston, we see the same on board and copy go for CM raise.
That CM raise referred to as the slight firing of 19 seconds by Integrity's thrusters with a change in velocity of 9.9 feet per second, a slight nudge of the aft end of the vehicle so that it's tilted a bit upward, providing the final angle of attack as the vehicle enters the Earth's atmosphere, this being the mitigating factor that will reduce heat loads on the heat shield as we reach a point downrange from the start of entry interface, some 1,701 nautical miles to the splashdown site. Integrity systems in excellent shape. We are currently 3,300 nautical miles left in this mission. Splashdown scheduled 36 minutes, 39 seconds from now.
Integrity, Houston. For the 2 enabled prop cautions, what happened is while the thrusters were firing, multiple pressure sensors on each of the strings diverged a bit from each other. Those limits look to be set pretty tight. We think it could happen again when the thrusters fire in the future, so we are going to suppress those messages.
We concur with suppress, not inhibit. Thank you.
That exchange between Jackie Mahaffey, our Capcom for tonight, and Reed Wiseman aboard Integrity, indicating basically to ignore sensor data. All of Integrity systems are in good shape. Now, coming up on about 90 seconds till the crew module, service module separation. All quiet here in Mission Control as we enter the most critical phase of the completion of this flight. All of the preparatory activities leading up to the vehicle entering the Earth's atmosphere just 21 minutes from now. Coming up on 1 minute. Mark 1 minute till crew module, service module separation. And we have confirmation of crew module, service module separation, and a great view, albeit momentarily.
Houston, good step on board.
Houston copies and concurs.
The European service module now separated from Integrity, a job well done.
Integrity, no action for the 4 CDH cautions. Those are SM related, not applicable.
Integrity.
So, with Integrity now flying free on its own for the remaining 32 minutes of this mission, next up, the raise burn, a 19-second firing of Integrity's thrusters.
Good GPS 2.
Integrity copies, good GPS 2.
Coming up on the 2-minute mark until the raise burn. Again, this is the final tweaking of the orientation of Integrity to put it in the right angle, if you will, the angle of attack that it will fly in during its entrance into the Earth's atmosphere. Entry interface now just 18 minutes, 25 seconds away. This is a visualization, but driven by real-time telemetry. This is the maneuvering of Integrity to the raise burn orientation. Just 2,800 miles from Earth.
Houston, we got a great view of the European service module out the window with the sun hitting the side and the solar rays and the NASA worm right there. It's a beautiful looking machine.
Roger.
And we have completed the maneuver to the raise burn orientation, 1 minute away from the raise burn. And the crew module raise burn is underway, a 19-second firing of the thrusters, and we have a completion of the burn.
Integrity, good. CM raise burn. Your flight path angle is within limits.
Integrity copies. Looks good on board, Jackie.
So the final maneuver is now complete. Our trajectory for a splashdown in the Pacific 29 minutes from now is set and will not be amended any further. And we have the right angle of attack to mitigate any excessive heat loads on the vehicle during entry interface.
Integrity, Houston, a heads up about comm coverage. When you perform the 180 roll, for the first minute or so in that attitude, we expect about a minute LOS.
We copy.
So for those who are watching, the series of events coming up, we will enter the first traces of Earth's atmosphere 14 minutes, 45 seconds from now. 6:53 and 30 seconds is what is pegged for entry interface at an altitude of 400,000 feet, traveling at approximately 34,800 feet per second, range to touchdown or splashdown 1,701 nautical miles. 24 seconds after entry interface, we will enter a 6-minute blackout period in which we will lose communications with the crew. This is expected due to the buildup of plasma around the vehicle. That's an ionization effect due to the collision, if you will, of the velocity of the spacecraft with the friction of the Earth's atmosphere. That 6-minute blackout is expected to begin at 6:53 and 54 seconds p.m. Central Time. During that period of time, we will reach our peak speed of 24,661 miles per hour. That comes just short, based on unofficial data from the flight dynamics officer right now, will come just short of the velocity record set by Apollo 10 of 24,791 miles per hour in 1969. We expect peak heating on the vehicle at 6:54 and 52 seconds p.m. Central Time, a minute and 22 seconds into entry interface. At that point, we will be just 204,000 feet above the Earth, traveling at 33,000 feet per second. The blackout period is expected to last 6 minutes. We expect that blackout period to end at 6:59 and 55 seconds p.m. Central Time. From the end of the blackout period until splashdown, it is just 7 minutes, at which point we'll start deploying the series of parachutes to slow integrity down to an ultimate splashdown velocity of just 19 miles an hour.
We see the same, waiting for the 180 rolls.
The parachute deployment sequence, once again, will come in several segments, but in rapid fire succession.
And we have a great view of the moon out window 2. Looks a little smaller than yesterday.
Guess we'll have to go back.
Reed Wiseman and Jackie Mahaffey exchanging discussion on a view of the moon that Integrity's astronauts are seeing in the final minutes of this mission that will be completed with splashdown just 25 minutes from now. 3 forward bay cover parachutes will be used to pull the forward bay cover off the top of the vehicle. Then 2 drogue parachutes will be deployed to slow and stabilize the crew module during its descent, followed by 3 pilot parachutes that will lift and deploy the main parachutes from the forward bay. The final sequence will have 3 main parachutes deployed. These will be 116 feet in diameter, each main parachute approximately 265 feet long when reefed. The parachutes will ultimately slow Integrity down from its peak speed of almost 33 times the speed of sound to a gentle 19 miles an hour as splashdown.
A very funny thing, আমি জানতাম না যে অরায়নের ক্যাপসুলের নাম দিয়েছে ইন্টিগ্রিটি। page.com এর লেখা পড়তে যায় দেখি যে নাম দিয়েছে ইন্টিগ্রিটি। I thought what is integrity? Integrity কি বলবো?
Our trajectory is right on according to flight dynamics.
তাই Artemis 1 এর নাম ছিল। যেহেতু অরায়নটাই আবার ইউজ করতে হচ্ছে এই জন্য ক্রিউরা এটার নাম ইন্টিগ্রিটি দিছে।
So let's give a little heads up what has been happening since last 30 minutes or 40 minutes.
Integrity is on a trajectory from southwest to northeast across the Pacific Ocean.
So
descending
Yes,
at a
yes.
rate of
the speed.
15,000 feet per
Right.
second.
So speed has been increasing since last 10-15 minutes. Speed was Mach 20, Mach 18, rising from, the first time we did live, it
Range to
was
touchdown,
Mach
4,300
3,
nautical
right?
miles, all the
Mach
systems
2,
in excellent shape.
something like that. So since last 30-40 minutes, it's been going up. So you can see here Mach 2 28.3 right now, 28.3. Let me repeat.
Mac 28.3.
Yes, currently it is 28.3.
My God.
So last 40 minutes.
And it will increase up
Integrity,
to Mac
Orion
30
in
plus because I
VIS
remember Mac
180
35,
active.
36 hit করতে পারে।
Yes, so
Let's get
the
on board, Jackie.
commentator
ওই
here.
যে 6 মিনিটের যে নেটওয়ার্ক লসটা থাকবে তখন কি
This
স্পিড
view
ক্যালকুলেট করা
out of
যাবে
one of
নাকি
Integrity's
জাস্ট হিসাব করা হয়?
windows.
No.
We had a
Signal
call for
lost
3 good
fellow,
barrows. Those are
the
barometric
equipment
pressure
are still
sensors
working.
that
So
feed
that will still
Equipment
be,
still working.
altitude
yeah.
and rate of descent
Even when
information to
we
Integrity's
lost
computers that will
connection
trigger the parachute
while it
deployment
was on the
sequence.
other side of the moon, it was still
We are
recorded.
less than 9 minutes away from
So,
Yes,
entry
yes.
interface, 22 minutes from
it will go to
splashdown.
Mach 33
Yeah,
as per NASA.
কাউন্ট কাউন্ট তো হবে কিন্তু আমরা কি লাইভ দেখতে পারবো কিনা? কাউন্ট তো আমরা পরে উদ্ধার করতে পারি।
Maybe a bit delayed. A couple of seconds delay.
দিলে হবে আর কি।
So yeah, we can now
লাইক যখন
see.
আমরা দেখবো যে Mac 32 maybe it is already Mac 35.
You can see the reflection
So
of one of the
currently
crew
it's
members
Mach
in the window.
29 and 1600 kilometer away from Earth. And
Out in the
splashdown
Pacific, the
is
weather
on
conditions remain
19
go.
minutes.
Just a few clouds,
Okay.
some scattered
Remind me again,
clouds.
what is the
Winds at
exact
10
length
knots.
of Earth's atmosphere?
Wave heights
15,
just about 4 feet.
150 kilometer or more than that.
A gentle day in the
A
Pacific
bit more
for the
than that,
homecoming
yes,
of
but
Integrity's astronauts.
it's around that. ISS is ISS, 400 kilometers.
ISS so 4 kilometers.
Yeah.
ISS is the least. We know there is
Integrity,
LEO,
EIS.
MEO, and there is low Earth orbit, HEO, high Earth orbit.
Yeah, then it starts.
High Earth orbit
Proceed to same on board, Jackie.
হাই আর্থ অরবিটের আরো উপর থেকেই হচ্ছে যে কন্ট্রোল হারানো শুরু হয়ে যায়, দেন ইটস টোটালি আপ টু ফেট।
Yeah. So mission progress 99.9.
Crew and vehicle are configured for entry.
99.9.
Just
0.01% bacteria creates the pandemic.
Yes,
And we're in step 37, transferring NASA to BFS.
0.01. Huge deal. ওরা ঘুম থেকে উঠছে কখন? ওরা নাকি ঘুমাচ্ছিল পৃথিবীতে ঢোকার আগ পর্যন্ত। চারজনই। এটা কি নর্মাল স্লিপ নাকি ক্রায়োজেনিক স্লিপ?
No, normal sleep. So we are about to hit Mach 30.
And Houston, in instruction
Mach 30.
09, we are not.
Tom Cruise would be proud.
Tom Cruise will be very proud.
Mach 30.
So 1100 kilometer away. Everything system status,
No
everything
action
nominal.
Integrity.
So currently re-entry preparation is ongoing. Entry surface. So
ফায়ার তো হবে না, না? কোন লাইভ ক্যাম আছে? লাইভ ক্যাম দিয়ে দেখাচ্ছে মাঝে মাঝে।
We will hit the first traces of Earth's atmosphere at an altitude of 400,000 feet, traveling about 34,882 feet per second.
ইনসাইড তো পসিবল না নাকি?
Splashdown at
একদম
that
যখন
point will be 1,701 nautical miles.
No. I don't think we will get to see the inside.
তখন কি ইনসাইড, তখন তো আউটসাইড তো ক্যামেরা তো কাজ করবেই না। সোলার প্যানেলগুলো কি ডিটাচ করা হয়েছে?
No, so currently the orbit, Orion part,
And once again, just a reminder,
solar part
some
and
24
the main part,
seconds after
where
entry
they
interface,
stay.
we do
These two are
expect to
getting
lose
separated
communications
currently.
with the vehicle and the crew during a 6-minute blackout period when a plasma shield will build up around the spacecraft due to the ionization, due to heating effects
So we're about to enter
And Flight Dynamics has
400,000
just
feet.
confirmed we will have a blackout period of exactly 6 minutes in duration. And once again, that's due to the fact that
Yeah,
the
blackout is
plasma
coming.
buildup around the vehicle will prevent communications and data, so we will not be able to talk to the crew members at that
প্লাজমা
time,
কি বিল্ড আপ হবে
nor
এখন
will we
Yes,
receive
yes,
data
exactly.
here in the flight control room.
Exactly.
Houston, everything is looking good on board. Just confirm no pre-EI downloads.
Houston concurs.
That blackout period to begin at 6:53 and 54 seconds p.m. Central Time, and again will last about 6 minutes in duration. We're 4 minutes away from entry interface.
NASA scientists must be afraid. তোর ক্যামেরা পর্যন্ত অনেক ছোট, একদম কর্নারে নিয়ে গেছি। তোর ফেস কি আমি দেখিনি এতক্ষণ তোর ফেস, ওই যে কর্নারে।
হ্যাঁ, yes.
ওই ম্যাকটাকে ওগুলো কত দেখাচ্ছে এখন দেখাচ্ছে?
Mach 31.
আমি রিপিটিং
Just 500 kilometer away from Earth. Oh, we're getting live feed. But the blackout is happening.
This view from Integrity, as it crosses from southwest to northeast across the Pacific Ocean, 3 minutes from
এইটা কি
entry
outside camera?
interface.
No, inside. Inside the glass.
16.5 minutes till splashdown.
ইনসাইড দ্য গ্লাসে ফুল রেকর্ড করব। ইনসাইড দ্য গ্লাসে ফুল রেকর্ড কি ওই নিকন
The
D5
USS John P. Murtha and the recovery team
I don't
is
think so.
on station and in position, as are the airborne imagery assets that we hope to receive imagery from as Artemis enters the Earth's atmosphere and through parachute deployment. All of Integrity's systems are in great shape. The crew is ready to complete its mission just 15.5 minutes from now.
এক্স্যাক্টলি মাত্র বললো যে we have all the imagery assets, এটা একদম প্যারাশুট ডিপ্লয় পর্যন্ত রেকর্ড করবে।
No issues with the crew. And the weather at the splashdown site is go. Coming up on 1 minute until entry interface.
আর 2 মিনিট 53 সেকেন্ড নাকি? ওকে,
Yes.
Mark
Right.
1 minute
তাইলে
until entry interface.
ফ্রিজের ফ্রিজ এটা মানে ফ্রিজ হয়ে গেছে কেন?
1 minute 20 seconds until the
Full life
expected
দেখবো না,
start of the
আগুনে
6-minute
পুড়তেছে।
blackout.
They're burning.
Integrity, 1 minute to a
I
6-minute
was
blackout.
expecting something like that.
Integrity.
Yes, it is getting zoomed.
Yes. Mach 32. 156 kilometer away.
It is inside our atmosphere.
So
আমি তোকে জিজ্ঞেস করছিলাম তখন সোলার অ্যারে গুলো কখন ডিটাচ করলো, এখন তো শুধু ক্যাপসুলটাই আছে।
হ্যাঁ, এখন ওই কিছুক্ষণ আগে সিএম ইএম ছিল ডিটাচ ওই কাজটা তখন হয়েছে একটু আগেই
And we have
around
crossed the
20
threshold
25
now,
minutes.
entering the Earth's atmosphere.
So
We're at
বাইরের
400,000
সাইডে
feet, traveling
it's
34,800
rotating.
feet per second.
Can you see? ভালো রোটেট করলো একটু এখন
Time
যে
to
রিঅ্যাডজাস্ট
ফ্লাইট
splashdown,
গুলো ওঠার
2
সময় যেমন
minutes, 10 seconds.
একটা চক্কর মারে ওইরকম
ইয়া সো
ভালোই তো লাইভ দেখতেছি
বাইরে -166 ডিগ্রি এক সাইডে আর সানলিট জায়গায় হচ্ছে 114 ডিগ্রি এখন
And as predicted, we've entered our communications blackout.
কমিউনিকেশন
140
This will be a 6-minute blackout period.
6 মিনিট
No voice, no data from the crew.
নো
কি অবস্থা ভাই?
ও কে হু ইজ দেয়ার
We're 30
Treon.
seconds away from the anticipated point of
Data.
peak heating on the vehicle, where
Who is this
temperatures
ভাই?
will
আমার চিনলেন না
rise
ভাই?
to about 4 to
না
5,000
we are
degrees
on
Fahrenheit.
live so
This
we
is
are
the
on
true
YouTube
test
live
of our
so আমি
trajectory.
দেখতে পাচ্ছি নাকি
আচ্ছা ভাই।
আমিও পাচ্ছি না
we are talking on YouTube live so please
And
please
from
let us
the
know who are
G5
you.
aircraft, in
Hey,
the
Dihan.
vicinity of the splashdown zone, this view
Hello brother
of integrity.
welcome to our live okay can you see
So
the
that
live
pinpoint of light shows
Yes,
the
ভাই,
vehicle
yes.
yeah
as it enters the
so
period of
আমরা
peak
এখন
heating in the
তুমি
Earth's
যেহেতু আসছো
atmosphere,
নতুন তোমাকে
the
একটু
first
বলি
tug of
আমরা
gravity
এখন
being
একটা
felt
ব্ল্যাকআউটে
by
আছি
Integrity's
we are not
astronauts
getting any data
since
from
their launch back on April
Orion
1st.
for 6 minutes blackout প্লাজমার জন্য so
Oh,
no data no video from Orion আর তারপরেই লঞ্চ আমরা আবার দেখতে পারবো এবং
4.5 minutes
splashdown
until
হবে
the end of the blackout period.
আর 4.5 মিনিট আছে ব্ল্যাকআউট আর splashdown আর
Time to
11
splash
মিনিটের
down, 11 minutes, 33 seconds.
আসসালামু আলাইকুম ভাই বাসায় যাচ্ছি বাস পাই নাই এই জন্য দেখা করে গেলাম না টেম্পারেচারটা আউট হয়ে গেল যে নাকি
টেম্পারেচার oh sorry টেম্পারেচার নিচে
The landing and support officer reports that the P3
Koi.
has acquisition
Negative.
on integrity.
114 degree sunlit -166 degree shadow
3.5 minutes left in this blackout
ভালোই
period.
ডিফারেন্স ভাই।
This is a visualization of the plasma buildup
এখন
around
আমাদের
the
velocity
spacecraft and
হচ্ছে
the repelling of that heat on Integrity's heat shield.
velocity এখন Mach 32.1
হ্যাঁ
so predicted 33 এর আশেপাশেই আছে এখন এই Mach 32 থেকে নেক্সট কয়েক মিনিটের মধ্যে এটা লিটারালি জিরো তে নেমে আসবে so that is a
আগুন লাগাই দিছি অ্যানিমেশনে
visualization আগুন লাগাই দিছে ওকে লেটস সি একটু কাছাকাছি আসলে আমরা লাইভ দেখতে পারবো মানে not from Orion
Flight
বাইরে
Dynamics
থেকেই
reports
live
that
দেখা যাবে।
airborne assets in the vicinity of the splashdown zone do have a
কয়টা
visual on
টেলিস্কোপ নিয়ে
integrity.
বসছে লাগান যে
Still 2
তোর
minutes and
ফেভারিট
42
হিরো যে
seconds left in our blackout period.
অ্যান্থনি সামথিং ও তো বলে
Time
লাইভ
to
করবে বলছিল
splashdown, 9 minutes, 35 seconds.
ইয়া ও সরি কসমিক ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড
cosmic background yeah they are on the launch site বসে বসে ওরা ভিডিও করে so yeah maybe
Multiple airborne assets as part of the recovery team all have visuals on integrity.
just 50 miles away
টেম্পারেচার বাড়তেছে না কেন 114 কি না
there's no
I
data
thought-
we don't
And
have
the
any data
WB-57
Oh,
flying in the
okay.
splashdown zone also has a
Yes,
visual.
it's
পরে বোধহয় দেখা যাবে যে 300 400 এ পৌঁছে গেছে
And the Navy helos also
এটাই
have
তখন
visuals.
বলতেছিলাম যে টেম্পারেচার লাইফটা পাবো কি
no live দেখা যাবে না these are stuck these are all stuck Mach 32.1 stuck হয়ে
We're
গেছে
still in the blackout period,
blackout period এখন শেষ হয়েছে।
still do not have communications from the crew.
স্পেসএক্স এর কিউ ড্রাগনের স্প্ল্যাশ ডাউনের সময় ডাটা লাইভ ছিল না, তখন নেটওয়ার্ক লস এরকম হয়েছিল।
নট দ্যাট আই নো রিমেম্বার অফ, আমার মনে পড়ে না।
Artemis clear.
We're standing
Probably
by
dead
for
probably.
communications from the crew.
Probably
We should be out of the blackout period less than a minute from now.
Hello.
So system
We are now
status,
processing
all
data
nominal,
from Integrity.
splashdown in
Yes,
4
blackout
minutes,
period,
blackout period
flash down
is,
in 4 minutes, blackout period less than 1 minute.
yeah, blackout period আর বেশিক্ষণ নাই।
ব্ল্যাকআউটটাকে মেইনলি টেম্পারেচারের জন্য
Planning and
হচ্ছে, তাই তো?
support officer reports the small
এই
boats
যে,
are en route
now
to
we
the
are getting live
splashdown
data.
target zone.
Mark 12,
স্পিড কমে গেছে।
this is a splashdown target zone, এখানেই ল্যান্ড করবে।
টেম্পারেচার
টেম্পারেচার স্টিল ডেটা নাই, ওল্ড ডেটা। Speed and distance are correct, altitude is correct, but temperature is still the old one. Come on, come on, come
Passing
on.
through 150,000 feet, our trajectory is perfect.
Trajectory
We're
is
getting
perfect.
intermittent views of Integrity. Still waiting to establish voice communication.
Still no voice communication.
অ্যাপোলো মিশন গুলোতে কিন্তু
Integrity,
অ্যাটমসফিয়ার
Houston,
ঢোকার আগে বা পরে
post-blackout.
কোর্স কারেকশন গুলো করা হতো না। এটা নিয়ে একটা
Houston,
জেমিনির একটা
Integrity, we
দেখলাম,
have you
পোস্টার
loud and clear.
দেখলাম।
Your
কোর্স কারেকশন গুলো
trajectory
করার
is
জন্য যে
nominal and your
ইঞ্জিন
recovery
ইগনিশন বা
team
যেটা
has
করেছিল ওগুলো
visual.
অ্যাপোলোতে কিছু ছিল না।
Yes, we are
Guys,
getting
looks
voice.
good.
No action for the enabled internal camera controller fail.
They are alive.
Yes, we are
Big
getting
cheers from the viewing room here in Mission Control as
Yes,
voice communication reestablished with Commander Reed
voice
Wiseman.
communication re-established.
For America and a waiting world, Integrity is 5.5 minutes away from coming home.
5.5 minutes away. Come on, come on, come on. 38 kilometer away.
মাত্র 38 মিনিট।
Passing 100,000 feet now.
এয়ার বাসের নিচে ঢুকে গেছে।
Range to splash down 19 nautical miles.
কামিং হোম, বাসায় তো চলে আসছে, এখন তো ফেরত যাওয়ার উপায় নেই।
Mark 2.6. So it was Mark 32, literally 2 minutes, 3 minutes back. Now it's Mark 2.6. What is
Integrity
that?
impact to the camera controller
What is
fail
that?
is no
Yay.
tab 1 views of the chutes.
Yeah, we can see it.
Integrity.
It's
এইটা কি দিয়ে দেখাচ্ছে বেসিক্যালি?
We're processing good data through the
Lens
GPS
camera.
system. A good view of Integrity, time to splash down 4.5 minutes.
মানে অরিয়নের বডি ক্যামেরা।
no, no, no.
No, ground camera, TV.
And a view of Integrity from the
Yay.
WB-57.
Yay.
ওরে স্পিড
We're
রে,
at 50,000 feet.
আরে স্পিড।
Coming, coming. Kilometer away.
ভাই এটা কি স্পোর্টস ক্যামেরা গুলো ইউজ করতেছে, মানে অনেক বড় লেন্স
The
যেগুলো।
pyros are armed for forward bay cover jettison.
Coming, coming. 12 kilometer. 1.5 mark.
ম্যাক আরো বাড়ার কথা ছিল না, ম্যাক কমতেছে যে।
এখন তো আস্তে আস্তে ব্রেক করে কমাবে না, নাহলে সেফ
এয়ার রেজিস্ট্যান্স, না এয়ার রেজিস্ট্যান্স।
প্যারাশুট ইজ
Like-
There you go, the
লাইভ।
first series of parachutes. And we're on
না
drill.
হলে একদম হচ্ছে যে সমুদ্রের তলদেশে যে ঠেকতো।
প্যারাশুট ইজ লাইভ।
প্যারাশুট ইজ ওকে।
Two good drill chutes.
সেকেন্ডারি
Next up,
প্যারাশুট থাকবে।
Copy, we see him.
5
next
kilometer
up, the
away.
deployment of pilot parachutes that will pull the
Mach
main chutes out.
1.2.
Time to splash down 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Perfect descent rate according to flight dynamics.
Good rates on 2 drogues.
We see the same on board.
Perfect. Perfectly নামতেছে।
এটা ভাই গ্রাউন্ড ক্যামেরা না, এটা অ্যাকচুয়ালি কি দিয়ে ওরা করতেছে?
এটা গ্রাউন্ড ক্যামেরা না,
Maybe on a plane.
Passing through
পানি
10,000
এরকম
feet.
মানে মরুভূমির মতো লাগতেছে,
Still
কেন
on
সাহারাতে ল্যান্ড করতে নাকি বলে। The capsule is by mistakenly landing on the Sahara. This doesn't look like Pacific Ocean.
Another set of parachute.
Main
Fine.
chute
Yeah, that's
deployed.
better.
বলতেছে না।
We're at
এই একটা
5,000 feet.
খুলতেছে না কেন তিনটার মধ্যে? হইছে। নাইস। নাইস।
Search and recovery beacon has been activated
2
on
kilometer
integrity.
away.
কালো হয়ে গেছে।
And we have
ওদের
3 good
প্যারাশুটের
main
স্টেজ
chutes.
আছে, মানে একটা প্যারাশুট খোলার পর
Good
Can
3
you
main
just
chutes,
time
good
for-
briefing, good descent
Good.
rate.
Good rates, and we see 3 good-looking parachutes.
Good looking parachutes. Slowly, slowly.
Integrity. Cabin pressure indicates no need for hydrazine checks.
Integrity copies.
Integrity copies. All good.
This is a perfect descent for integrity. Its crew sounding hale and hearty on board. Time to splash down 1 minute 15 seconds.
1 minute, 15 seconds.
Integrity about to complete a journey spanning 694,481 miles from its launch from the Kennedy Space Center back on April 1st, and a trip around the moon.
এখনো 1 মিনিট, তাহলে কত উঁচায় প্যারাশুট লঞ্চ করছে?
Maybe 10,000 feet, 20,000 feet, something like that.
আর হচ্ছে যে প্লেন থেকে যে লাফ দিয়ে প্যারাসেলিং করে, এগুলো কত করে? 25,000 ফিট।
Right, right. 30,000
নাইস
feet.
কম্পারিজন।
Yeah.
30,000 ফিট।
Passing through 1,000 feet.
1,000 feet চলে আসছি আমরা 1 কিলোমিটার হবে।
$3 million people just
Integrity splashdown, sending post-landing
Splash
command.
down.
Splashdown confirmed.
Copy splashdown,
Yay.
waiting on VLDR.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time.
6:08 on
From the
Bangladesh
pages
time.
of Jules Verne to a modern-day mission to the moon, a new chapter of
6:08
the exploration of our
Seven
celestial
হওয়ার কথা
labor
ছিল
is
1 মিনিট।
complete. Integrity's
1 মিনিট আছে।
astronauts back on Earth.
It is back on Earth. Rescue, where's rescue?
And the landing and support officer reports the vehicle is stable 1. We still will be deploying the crew module uprighting system to maintain that orientation. A perfect bullseye splashdown for Integrity and its 4 astronauts.
Where's the rescue team?
ভাই নেক্সট মিশনের প্রবল ডেট কখন?
Next year,
Artemis 3.
2027.
27।
ও, তো অনেক সুন।
Yes, yes.
The unofficial
ক্রিউজ মিশন
splashdown
মানে
time,
ক্রিউটা রেডি সবাই।
7:07 and 47
Actually,
seconds p.m.
2026
Central
এর
Time.
মধ্যেই
We'll get
Artemis
that
3 চলে
refined
যাবে।
for you. That would
Oh,
put
Artemis
the
3
end of the
কিছু
mission at a mission elapsed
দেরি
time of
করা হবে
9
ওরা
days, 1
এ
hour,
করবে।
31 minutes, 35 seconds.
That will be landing. That will not be flyby.
হ্যাঁ আমি জানি এটা ক্রিউ মিশন মানে ল্যান্ডিং
And we're
মিশনটা
configuring for very low data
28
rate.
হবে।
Once again, splashdown
Rescue
occurring
teams are there.
in the Pacific, southwest of San Diego at 7:07 and 47 seconds p.m.
Integrity Houston, comm check on VLDR.
আচ্ছা ভাই আমি গেলাম।
Okay.
Houston, we have you loud and clear on VLDR. How us?
থ্যাংক ইউ ফর কামিং।
We have you the same. We'll meet you over in post landing.
Take care.
Perfect communications established.
A journey. We are stable 1, 4 green crew members.
4 green.
কিছু এরকম বসে দিয়ে আসছে।
Houston copies all.
ইজ জাস্ট অ্যানাদার স্পেশাল।
Reed
এমন
Wiseman reporting
স্পেশাল
4
কিছু না।
green crew members. That is not their complexion. That is the fact that they're in great condition. That's what
জাস্ট
that
ভিতরে
means.
4 জন মানুষ ছিল, ওরা ফ্লাই না হ্যাভ।
So
সহি
stable
সালামত
1, upright. The crew module uprighting system is being deployed. The 5 airbags being inflated through helium to maintain the upright configuration for
বরঞ্চ
the vehicle. This
এগুলো
was a
দেখলে আরো মনে
textbook
হয় যে
entry and a textbook touchdown for
উই
integrity.
হ্যাভ টু সেন্ড
Reed Wiseman,
হিউম্যান
Victor
মোর।
Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen back
54
on
বছর
Earth
পরে পাঠায়,
after
আমি
a
আবার 1
journey
বছর পরে
around the
পাঠাবো।
moon. We continue to monitor the functioning of the CMOOS system. The airbags are being inflated to maintain a stable 1 or upright configuration. And there's a good view from one of the naval helicopters hovering overhead. Reed Wiseman reporting 4 green crew members, meaning they're all in excellent shape.
Integrity Houston for SAR beacon and radio.
SAR beacon is in 406, and we're powering the radio now. Go ahead.
এখন বলতেছে যে গুড ভিউ ফ্রম
We
ওয়ান অফ
see
দ্য
the
নেভাল
beacon on. However, the recovery team
কি
is
পুরোটাই কি
not
নেভাল হেলিকপ্টার থেকে
seeing the
করছে?
signal. Your SAR radio uses the same
Chances.
antenna, so you may run into trouble with the radio.
Okay, copy. And we are also powering up the sat phone now.
So integrity is
মানে ডে টাইম হওয়াতে সান মানে প্রশান্ত মহাসাগর একদম
continues its
সারা মতো লাগছে।
post-splashdown timelined activities on board. Reed Wiseman once again reporting that all 4 crew members are in excellent shape.
স্পিড বোর্ড
And
যেগুলো
we
আছে
have
ওখান থেকে যে
5
ছবিগুলো তোলা হয়েছে এগুলো বোধহয়
inflated
রিলিজ করলে
airbags to maintain an
সৌন্দর্য
upright
বিরাজ হবে।
configuration so that the reaction, the recovery team can now begin a slow approach to the vehicle. Meanwhile, here in the flight control room, entry flight director Rick Henfling is polling his team of flight controllers for the start of powering down the vehicle after a thorough systems check. We have no toxic gases to be concerned about. so the recovery personnel can approach the vehicle, but not until we have powered down the spacecraft. That's expected to take a few more minutes.
Some sort of communication gap. যারা রেস্কিউ টিম অ্যান্ড ইন্টিগ্রিটি দুটার ভিতরে একটা কমিউনিকেশন ইয়ে আছে, যোগাযোগ করতে পারতেছে।
Integrity back on Earth following its historic fly
এখন তো
off of the moon.
মানে খুলতেও পারবে না, খুলতে তার সময় লাগবে।
It was for all intents and purposes a textbook mission.
On 28 per hour remain on this frequency.
কমিউনিকেশন তখন রেডিও থেকে হইলো, অথবা ওদের কাছে যদি সিম টিম থাকে তাহলে ডাইরেক্ট ফোন দেখ, হোয়াটসঅ্যাপে কল দেখ, ওয়াইফাই দিয়ে।
Reed Wiseman indicating some trouble with the SARSAT phone on board, but that's not an issue. What is more important is that the vehicle is solid. No issues as we begin the power down of the vehicle to begin the recovery process.
ও বাই দ্য ওয়ে, আমি কিন্তু অফিসিয়ালি অ্যালাউড ইয়ে করার জন্য, নাসার এটা স্ট্রিম করার জন্য, কারণ হচ্ছে গিয়ে ওদের ইয়ে আছে, দে হ্যাভ a program where you can join as someone who can stream other people as well. So I actually signed up for that. So
the propulsion officer here in Mission Control reports that we have safed the prop system on Integrity.
Can you say again, that was very weak and broken?
They also give cute badges as well.
Integrity, Houston did not call.
আবার একটা পেলে পাঠাই দিই।
মেইলে আছে, পাঠাই দিই।
Copy that, Houston. It might have been on the SAR radio. Stand by.
এবার বুঝতে পারছি, তখন মনে হচ্ছিল আকাশে ভাসতেছিল, কাছেও তো যায় না, কাছে যায় কিন্তু টোকা দিয়ে দেখো যে আরে গাইজ এলাইভ, আর তারপরে কামকে ফোন করলো, আব্বা আসছি বাসায়, আব্বা বাসায় আসছি। তোমার জন্য চাঁদের মাটি নিয়ে আসছি।
But the recovery imagery, airborne
এটা
assets
একটা
were
ভালো
able to pick
পোস্ট
up
করা যায়।
Integrity's descent
চারজনের কারোর যদি কোনো ক্যারি যেতে পাওয়া যায় ইন্টারনেটে, কামকে ফোন দিয়ে বলতেছে, আব্বা তোমার জন্য চাঁদের মাটি নিয়ে আসছি, পাগলামি থামাও।
First, the forward bay cover being pulled off the top of the vehicle by a series of 3 parachutes. Then the drogue chutes were deployed, followed by the 3 main chutes that slowed the splashdown velocity of Integrity to just 19 miles an hour.
In both of the Artemis launches, যে ওই চাঁদের পিছনে যখন সিগন্যাল লস গুলো হয়, they could have launched or separated any automated vehicle to the moon, যেটা ল্যান্ড করে নিয়ে অটোমেটিক ভালো মতো ল্যান্ড করবে, সবকিছু করবে। It sounds very stupid, but ল্যান্ড করা অনেক কঠিন, যে পৃষ্ঠে হোক না কেন, এই জন্য আর কি ওরা রিস্ক নেয় না।
Integrity, Houston,
with
no joy on SAR and SAT phone, we'd like you to command an additional 15 minutes for a total of 30-minute power down delay.
আচ্ছা, 15 plus 15, 30 মিনিটের পাওয়ার ডাউনের জন্য রিকোয়েস্ট করলাম।
All right, Jackie, we have selected T/D+30. No joy on SAR radio or SAT.
চায়না যেভাবে লুকায় স্পেস স্টেশন বানাইছে, আর্টেমিস 1 যখন গেছে তখন কয়েকটা রোভার লঞ্চ করে দিয়েছে, এইবার যে কয়েকটা রোভার লঞ্চ করে দিয়েছে, আর এবার ওরা যখন যে লঞ্চ করবে, মানুষ ল্যান্ড করবে, তখন জাস্ট কয়েকটা লোহা টোহা কাইরা our lunar base is ready. China surprise. All lunar base is ready. এই যে কাছাকাছি গেছে এখন।
Yeah.
A good view of one of the fast boats.
Integrity Houston, if you are happy with your comm with Master Diver, you can go back to the 15-minute power down.
Okay, stand by. Yeah, we'll confirm here in a second.
The crew on board Integrity coordinating with the flight control team in Houston here in Mission Control on the timing of the power down of the vehicle, which will be the precursor to the recovery teams approaching the spacecraft.
Okay,
There are no issues with Integrity.
The whole
We've had
vehicle
a
needs
bit
to be
of
turned off completely.
broken capability in establishing a SARSAT or satellite phone communications capability between the crew on board Integrity and the recovery team. That will get sorted out here shortly. There's plenty of cooling on board Integrity, so there's no rush to begin the power down.
To call you on the sat phone and
মুভির কথা বলতাম লাইভ একটা তারপরে হচ্ছে যে
We haven't had anything come through.
সিরিজ বানানো হয়েছে একটা খুব ভালো ডিরেক্টর কি জানি এই যে ওরা ট্রাভেল করে আসছে ওদের যে স্পেস ট্রমাটা থাকবে এটা হচ্ছে ডাইরেক্ট লিথিয়ামের পিল খাওয়ায়া কন্ট্রোল করা হয়
And Houston, if you could relay to recovery that we hear them, but it does not appear as though they are hearing us.
Yeah, there is sort of communication.
Houston copies, and Reed, just to confirm, you are pushing the PTT on the radio.
পরে যে কাছে যেতে পারবে
So as we continue to sort out the communications between Integrity and the recovery teams, we are standing by for the initiation of the power down procedures that, as you see, the recovery teams are moving towards the side of the capsule. The next major event will be the erection of that large inflatable raft called the front porch that will be the port of call for the crew as they're being extracted one by one from the vehicle.
Integrity Houston, for sat phone, we are going to attempt to call you.
So they're trying to call.
স্যাট ফোনে কল দিবে এটা বলতেছে যে এটা কি আমাদের জন্য বললো না কথাকে শোনানোর জন্য
Yes, we are pushing the push to talk, the two buttons on the left side of the radio below the up down arrows. We are utilizing them. I'm rebooting the radio to see if we get good comms.
Okay, we copy all, and just to confirm, you are seeing that you are touchdown plus 3030 for power, correct?
That's affirmative.
We are trying a backdoor approach to have Mission Control here call the crew on their satellite phone. This is all part of the coordination for the power down of the vehicle that will initiate the actual recovery operation. The first boats with the Navy divers on board are standing by, waiting to close in on Integrity to begin the process of erecting the large inflatable raft that's called the front porch that will be where the astronauts are extracted from so that they can have a few minutes to get their land legs back before they're hoisted aboard the Navy helicopters for the flight back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha.
मुझे निकालो यहाँ से
And Houston, please don't reply. NRD, very weak, but readable. Master diver, we can hear, but they cannot hear us.
They cannot hear us. We can hear them, but they cannot hear us.
কিন্তু কেন চ্যাট কম আছে রেডিও কম আছে কল ধরে নাই
Maybe the frequency is wrong. Maybe something is malfunctioning. Who knows?
ফ্ল্যাশ ডাউনের পরে মাল ফাংশন করতেছে এটাই ভালো।
And Houston on OE1, is there any chance to tie us into NRD?
Checking.
This is Mission Control, Houston. While we stand by for the establishment of communications between Integrity and the recovery team that is basically standing by very close to the spacecraft, we're going to go to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha, where Megan Cruz is standing by with Administrator Jared Isaacman.
Hey, Rob, yeah, just such an honor to be able to be here on the ship, to be able to share and experience this moment with everyone together. And of course, as you just said, yes, here with NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman. Administrator, how did you feel getting to witness this and seeing NASA at its best?
Oh, I mean, I'm honestly, I'm still at a loss for words. I mean, you know, like the childhood Jared right now can't believe what I just saw. I mean, almost been waiting my whole lifetime to see this, and then it's NASA Administrator. I just couldn't be more proud of the entire workforce, the years, the effort, the late nights, all the hard work from across the country that contributed to this incredible moment right now. And yeah, incredibly grateful too for our teams here on the John P. Murtha right now.
Yeah, look at them behind us here.
Got everybody. Hey, what do you guys think? We just brought some astronauts back from the moon, huh? Unbelievable. Thank you. Yeah, so grateful to the Navy, the sailors that are here, the NASA teams. I mean, this is a joint effort that's on their way right now. These recovery forces are getting out to our Orion spacecraft, to Integrity, to get our astronauts back on the ship safely.
Yeah, and this is not just an accomplishment for NASA. This is an accomplishment for humanity. Again, a historic mission to the moon and back. How does this make you feel, and what do you hope people take away from this?
Well, I'll tell you, you know, I think about the crew members that we've all had an opportunity to observe over the last 10 days, right? I mean, they're absolutely professional astronauts. I mean, wonderful communicators, almost poets. But then I think these were the ambassadors from humanity to the stars that we sent out there right now. And I can't imagine a better crew than the Artemis II crew that just completed a perfect mission right now. So yes, it's a huge moment for everybody, right? I mean, we are back in the business of sending astronauts to the moon, bringing them back safely, and to set up for a series more. I mean, this is not a once in a lifetime, which you hear sometimes around here. It's like, this was a once in a lifetime. No, it's not. This is just the beginning. We are going to get back into doing this with frequency, sending missions to the moon until we land on it in 2028 and start building our base.
Yeah, are we going to build on the momentum for Artemis III? I mean, it's just around the corner.
Absolutely. So, I mean, that's, you know, part of me too. Like, I can't wait to get the crew off of Integrity right now, but also getting Integrity back on this ship so we can start taking a look at it, because all that data is so precious to us right now. I mean, we're going to definitely want to take a good look at the thermal protection system. We're going to want to download all the data they couldn't transmit back to us and use that to inform Artemis III. But we're already making progress, right? You had SRB segments already showing up at KSC. Core stage for Artemis III is rolling out on April 20th. We're getting 39, or we're getting Mobile Launcher 1 back in vehicle assembly building. So yes, there is a lot to celebrate right now on a mission well accomplished for Artemis II, and at the same time, we got to start getting ready for 3.
Amazing. And last question, for people who joined us for all 10 days to see what we can accomplish together with our international partners, what do you think about the fact that we're going to keep doing this more and more and more?
It's incredibly exciting. I mean, yes, it's the contributions, like the best and brightest across the NASA workforce from across the country, our industry partners, our international partners. We had a Canadian Space Agency astronaut on board in Jeremy. We had the European Service Module. And you think, in the days leading up to this launch, I mean, 48 hours prior to launching Artemis II, I was meeting with the Italian Space Agency. We signed a memorandum of understanding to build a habitation module on the moon. I mean, you have countries, all of our allies and partners coming together saying, we are committed to this effort, we are returning to the moon, we're doing it to stay, we are building that enduring presence, we are going to master the skills on the surface of the moon so someday we can undertake missions to Mars. It's just an incredibly exciting time, and we're not going at it alone, we're bringing everybody along with us.
Absolutely. And speaking of everyone, one more time, we're going to ask the crew here, you guys ready to land on the moon? Awesome. I love that. Okay, well, thank you so much, Administrator. Appreciate you being here. We're, of course, going to stay on to watch the crew get extracted from Orion, so stay tuned, and we'll see you back here shortly.
Still not recovering.
Thank you, Megan, and thank you, Administrator Isaacman. We are in the process of working to establish that communications link and to establish the procedures that will lead to the power down of the spacecraft, which is gently bobbing in the Pacific following a bullseye touchdown that occurred at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time, 2.5 hours before sunset in the Pacific, southwest of San Diego. We have once again heard from the crew during that interview opportunity with the administrator, and we have 4 healthy crew members on board. We now have confirmation that the vehicle has been powered down as per the procedures. So we have vehicle powered down, and the flight control team here in Houston, Flight Director Rick Henfling, has handed over mission authority to the Exploration Ground Systems team out in the Pacific. Now, we will physically not get off console with this team until the crew has been extracted into the front porch, that inflatable raft that will be erected along the side hatch of Integrity. So we're standing by for that in the next step in the recovery procedures. But everything is in great shape, and we have 4 healthy crew members on board the vehicle.
What if sharks come and comes banging?
San Diego বলে কথা যত 100%
All of the entry events went by the
মুভির
book,
মধ্যে
no issues.
90% তো সান ডিয়েগো
For
ক্যালিফোর্নিয়া
Integrity
আর মায়ামি
that was culminated with one final raise burn to improve the angle of attack for the vehicle as it entered the Earth's atmosphere. All of that flight dynamics computation worked like a charm.
I am actually out of life. কথা কি হইছে? কথা বলতে পারছে? আমি লাইভটা অফ রাখছি আর কি।
না, still floating.
তাহলে 4 জন অজ্ঞান হয়ে গেছে for sure.
যেটা হচ্ছে গিয়ে কমিউনিকেশন সেট না করা পর্যন্ত আমরা শিওর হতে
So we are standing by for the recovery team to approach Integrity and begin the process of erecting that
powered on থাকা অবস্থায় কি হতে পারে খুললে
which will see
খুলতে পারবে না আর খুলতে তো দেরি হবে তাই না বাইরে থেকে তো কিছু করার উপায় নেই
Orion into that inflatable raft before they're hoisted aboard 2 Navy helicopters.
They have to turn off and open the gate
in a variety of different configurations. Each crew member will be hoisted in sequential fashion, in alternating fashion, 2 crew members for each helicopter before they turn around to head back to the John P. Murtha. Once on the deck of the ship, they'll be brought into medical bay for comprehensive medical exams. But Reed Wiseman has reported several times that the crew is in excellent shape. So just to recap, it has been some 26.5 minutes since the splashdown of Integrity in the Pacific. The vehicle is in excellent shape. It performed like a champ all the way down through the Earth's atmosphere. All of the vehicle functions were checked off in excellent trip hammer fashion. The parachutes all deployed as planned. Splashdown occurring at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time. And after a bit of a tussle to try to establish a communications link with the recovery team, we were finally able to run through the procedures for the powering down of the vehicle. We've handed over mission authority to the Exploration Ground Systems folks out in the Pacific, and the recovery team will be approaching the vehicle shortly to erect the inflatable raft called the front porch before opening the hatch to Integrity to bring the crew members onto that raft before they're hoisted onto two Navy helicopters, two crew members for each helicopter before they're flown back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha.
তারপরে আবার হচ্ছে যে এইসব হিসাব নিকাশ রিক্যালকুলেশন করে রিক্যালিব্রেট করে ডেট ফিক্স করা হয়েছে। There was one more thing in consideration, যে লঞ্চটাতে দেখা যায় দিনের বেলা, স্প্ল্যাশডাউন দিনের বেলা হয়। ইউ নো, অনেকগুলা লঞ্চে কিন্তু রাতের বেলা করে ফেলে, ছবি ভালো উঠে না। স্পেস এক্সও করে অনেক কিছু। স্পেস এক্সও ইম্পর্টেন্ট লঞ্চগুলো যেমন স্টারশিপ দিনের বেলাই করে। যেটা হয় ছবি উঠতে হবে, মানুষজন দেখতে পারে। আর বাকি যেগুলো আছে ওইগুলো রাতের বেলা করে ফেলা, কোনো সমস্যা নেই, ওইটা ঠিক থাকলেই হয়। স্প্ল্যাশ ডাউন এই সকালবেলা একদম ফকফক আলোতে, লঞ্চটা একদম বিকালবেলা ঠিকঠাক মতো। তাও তো লঞ্চ উইন্ডো দেরি হয়ে গেছে, যে কারণে 70 সেকেন্ড দেখা গেছে মাত্র। আটটু আগে হলে পরে পুরোপুরি দেখা যেত।
এখনো সবাই এর বাইরে আশেপাশে ওয়েট করতেছে, কিন্তু কেউ আগাচ্ছে না এটার দিকে।
আগাইলেই হচ্ছে লাইফ মুভির ওরকম কিছু একটা বেরিয়ে আসবে। The octopus alien from the dark side of the moon.
আশেপাশে হেলিকপ্টারগুলো ঘুরতেছে, স্পিড বোট ঘুরতেছে, কিন্তু কেউ স্ট্রেট যাচ্ছে না।
This is Mission Control Houston. After talking to the flight dynamics folks, we have a bit of a refinement on the splashdown time for you. Their computation shows a splashdown time of 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time. 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time. That would equate to a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 15 seconds. Once again, from Flight Dynamics, a splashdown time of 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time. That would equate to a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 15 seconds.
9 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 15 seconds. Whole mission.
Reports from the Pacific indicate that the recovery team, in communications with the crew aboard Integrity, that the crew remains in excellent shape as they await the approach of the team for a final hazard gas evaluation before they move to the side of the vehicle to erect the inflatable life raft called the front porch.
9 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes, 15 seconds.
But actual flight time.
Again, no issues with Integrity. The vehicle is powered down. All of its systems are now safed. We have handed over mission authority to the Exploration Ground Systems folks in the Pacific, but we will not stand down and have the entry flight control team depart its positions until that inflatable raft, the front porch, is erected, the hatch open, and the crew having exited the vehicle. So that's the next step in the recovery process that will lead to the hoisting of the crew members. For 2 crew members for each helicopter, they'll be hoisted to a pair of Navy helicopters that will then fly a short distance back to the USS John P. Murtha.
They're getting really close.
What you're looking at is one of the fast boats circling the vehicle to make a hazard assessment.
প্যারাশুট গুলো ফুল মানে ছোট হয়ে কেমন 4টা কমলা মালটা হয়ে গেছে 5টা মাল। এটা কি নিউয়ার টেকনোলজি বোধহয়, আগে তো ছড়ায় পড়তো, এখন বোধহয় ডিফ্লেট করছে।
কি হ্যাজার্ড অ্যাসেসমেন্ট করতেছে? হ্যাজার্ডাস গ্যাস অ্যাসেসমেন্ট।
টেম্পারেচার, রেডিয়েশন।
ওই যে ইয়ে নিয়ে অ্যাসেস করতেছে কি অবস্থা। সব মেজার করতেছে।
This is Mission Control Houston. Once again, you're watching the initiation of the recovery of the Artemis crew aboard Integrity. All of the Navy divers and the fast boats are now approaching the spacecraft after conducting a hazard assessment. The vehicle has been powered down. Entry Flight Director Rick Henfling now waiting for the life raft, the front porch, to be erected along the side of the vehicle so that the hatch can be opened and the crew members extracted from Integrity, soon to be hoisted one by one into a pair of Navy helicopters for a short flight back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha. If you missed it earlier, we talked to Flight Dynamics and received a more official touchdown time or splashdown time, as it were, of 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time, 5:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Pacific Time. That would equate to a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 15 seconds.
Assalamu alaikum.
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম।
আমিও দেখতেছি এখন বসে বসে, বাট আপনাদের টেক্সট দেখি নাই যে আপনারাও দেখতেছেন।
এতক্ষণ আসিস নাই কেন?
আরে আমি টেক্সট দেখি নাই তো।
স্প্ল্যাশ ডাউন হয়ে গেল, এত কিছু হয়ে গেল এতক্ষণে।
না আমি দেখতেছি, অ্যাট লিস্ট হইতেছে 1 আওয়ার থেকে দেখতেছি।
এখনো বসে বসে হ্যাজার্ড অ্যাসেসমেন্ট করতেছি।
হ্যাঁ, এই যে জাস্ট পাওয়ার ডাউন হইলো না?
পাওয়ার ডাউন হইলো। কি
এই হেলিকপ্টারগুলো নিয়ে যাবে?
হ্যাঁ, হেলিকপ্টার কনফার্ম করছে। দুইটা হেলিকপ্টার
একটা কেন?
দুইটা হেলিকপ্টার নিয়ে যাবে হচ্ছে ওদের
দুইটা আছে।
মেবি একটা ভিডিও করতেছে আর একটা ওটার সামনে দেখতেছে। কথা হচ্ছে গিয়ে বাইরে হবে কখন?
ওই যে ওটা ড্রাইভার।
পাওয়ার ডাউন তো ওরা কনফার্ম করে নাই, তো শিপগুলা যে কনফার্ম করছে।
Rubaiyat is expecting some aliens will come out.
Continuing to get excellent views from the imagery assets out at sea in the Pacific of Integrity. We continue to get good reports from the landing and support officer, who's in contact with the recovery team, that the crew is in excellent shape, no issues. They're just currently biding their time, waiting for the front porch to be erected. We have no hazard gases and no hazardous situation with the vehicle. It performed perfectly all the way down from entry interface to its splashdown in the Pacific at 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time. And as you can see, the first phalanx of recovery personnel now pulling up alongside of Integrity.
Come on.
This includes Navy divers and Navy flight surgeon and other recovery personnel who have trained for several years
লেফটটা
with
বাইরে
this
হবে করতে
recovery process.
সামনে থেকে একটা মাথা বের হবে আর কি, ওটা 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 চূড়ায় আর কি।
গেটটা কোনটা উপরে?
হ্যাঁ, এই ডান ডান দিক থেকে শুরু করে উপরে একটা ল্যাচের মতো বের হবে আর কি।
উদ্ধার করে ফেলছে বোধহয়।
মনে হয় কি আমরা তো দেখতেছি লাইভ।
কামন কামন, কি রুবায়াত কি দেখতে পাচ্ছ না?
At this hour, some 41 minutes following splashdown, the vehicle has been powered down. There's no hazardous gas emanating from the vehicle.
এই বেলুনগুলো পপ করে দিলে একটু
The
বেটার
first
ভিজুয়াল হয়।
team of recovery personnel has been able to pull alongside Integrity, and the reports continue to come in that the 4 astronauts are in excellent shape.
The thing is, ওরা যখন ঢুকছে তখন তো আর এই দিক দিয়ে ঢুকে নাই, তখন তো ঢুকছে হচ্ছে গিয়ে রকেটের ঠিক মাঝখান দিয়ে, সো বের হচ্ছে মাথা দিয়ে। কিলো, why are they going back? Come on.
Yes.
যে নম্বরে লয়ে আইছে ভাই। বললাম যে ভেনমকে নিয়ে আসছে চাপ থেকে।
ভেনম come on, open it.
This is Mission Control Houston, continuing to watch the initiation of the recovery of Integrity's astronauts. One by one, they'll be brought out of the spacecraft onto a large inflatable raft just a short time from now. In the meantime, we can go back to the USS John P. Murtha, where my colleague Megan Cruz is standing by to provide her situation report. Megan, can you hear us?
Hey, Rob. Yes, I can hear you. Thank you. Yeah, we're back here on the bow of the recovery ship where there are still plenty of people peering out into the water. We are not very far from the action everyone is seeing on their screen now. The Orion spacecraft Integrity in the ocean, surrounded by a number of recovery boats. As Rob has been saying, in those recovery boats, NASA and Navy personnel specifically trained to get the astronauts out of Orion. In some of our wide shots, you can probably see that there are 6 boats out in the water. More than 40 people out in the water right now on those boats. First order of business is to set up the front porch and the stabilization collar. You might also hear it referred to as a stab collar. Basically just to make sure that Orion stays upright, doesn't sway in the water too much, again, to make it easier for recovery forces to get the astronauts out. Again, we splashed down in the Pacific Ocean just after 5 p.m. Pacific time here. It's a requirement by NASA to be able to get the crew out of Orion within 2 hours of splashdown. So doing great on time so far. Plenty of time. No rush either. I was speaking to NASA flight surgeon Rick Schuring earlier in this broadcast, and he said to me, no rush to get the crew out. Just want to make sure that they're feeling good. And whenever they're ready to take their step out of Orion and onto that large raft, the front porch, folks will be ready.
Yeah, it's open.
And as there are mission audio loops in Mission Control in Houston, there is a mission audio loop here on the ship, and it was just reported out that the side hatch is open. Side hatch of Integrity is open. You're getting these beautiful shots from our aerial assets. The ship itself, where I'm on, just 3,000 yards away. Again, plenty of people on the boat here, glued to the side closest to where they can see all this action. And again, with just 3,000 yards separating us, great views from the bow here. You can see now that side hatch is open. One of the Navy personnel is about to get inside there. In they go. In total, 4 will go into Orion. So it'll be a little bit of a tight squeeze, but the goal is to have a recovery personnel with each astronaut assessing them. Boats getting closer now. Again, that one that's right up against Orion, those are the divers that will go in to the spacecraft to check on each of the astronauts. These other boats will begin doing a number of things, putting on that stabilization collar onto Orion, building that front porch. Eventually, they will retrieve the parachutes, as well as tow Orion back to the well deck of the recovery ship here. And so as we wait for the Navy and NASA personnel to get their assessment of the crew inside of Orion, why don't we toss it back to Rob for an update?
Yeah, thank you, Megan. Here in Mission Control, Flight Director Rick Henfling and the entry team of flight controllers still on duty. The vehicle has been powered down for some time now. There are no hazardous gases emanating from Integrity. That, of course, allowed the recovery personnel to approach the vehicle and then open the hatch to begin the initial medical assessment of the crew, as you just indicated. Now we're standing by for the erection of that inflatable raft, the front porch, alongside of the vehicle that will enable the crew to be extracted one by one onto the raft, have a moment or two to get their land legs back before they're hoisted into two hovering Navy helicopters, 2 crew members for each helicopter, for a short flight back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha. All of Integrity's systems operated flawlessly throughout the course of the approach to the Earth, the entry into the Earth's atmosphere, and all of the key milestones that followed in this high-speed return to Earth for Integrity. A mission that spanned more than 694,000 miles from the vehicle's launch from the Kennedy Space Center atop the Space Launch System back on April 1st.
এইটাকেই তো আবার পাঠাবে 3-3 নাকি আবার নিউ ক্যাপসুল বানাবে?
Possibly new capsule.
1 আর 2 তে কিন্তু সেমি পাঠাইলো মানুষ সহ মানুষ ছাড়া।
নিউ ক্যাপসুলে হওয়ার কথা।
As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, the last time that the Apollo program saw a splashdown in the Pacific was Apollo 17 back on December 19th, 1972. So for the first time in 53 and a half years, we have reenacted that with the arrival of Integrity's astronauts as they flew around the moon in that historic lunar flyby that began with a trans-lunar injection burn that took them out of Earth orbit following 24 hours of a high Earth orbit trajectory. The high Earth orbit trajectory enabled flight controllers here to have a full 24 hours to evaluate the systems on Integrity and the condition of the crew before they would commit to flying to the moon.
53 years.
ভাই এইচডি জুম একদম। ভিতরে কি এক্সট্রা 4 জন আছে এখন?
না, 4 জন ঢুকে নাই, আমি তো দেখলাম একজন ঢুকছে।
4 জন ঢোকার কথা বললো তো।
হ্যাঁ
ওয়ান পার
হ্যাঁ,
অ্যাস্ট্রোনট।
প্রত্যেকজনের জন্য একজন করে হয়তো।
অত একজন ঢুকে একজনকে বাইর করবে।
With the side hatch of Orion having been opened to set the stage for the erection of the inflatable life raft known as the front porch to be erected alongside the spacecraft for the extraction of the crew. Let's play for you an interview that my colleague Megan Cruz conducted on the USS John P. Murtha with Navy diver First Class David McMahon that explains how this process is unfolding.
Okay, Davey, so you and some of your team, one last look over of the stabilization collar, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what is this stabilization collar?
This is what's going to stabilize the capsule out there in the ocean. We don't know how good the weather or the waves will be that day, so this will help prevent any unnecessary occurrences from happening, stabilizing the capsule and the astronauts inside.
So basically this is a float that will go around Orion. I'm assuming that what they're doing right now, these are the lines that will attach the collar onto Orion?
That is correct.
And so what are they doing here?
So we've got the lower line that will secure the inflation device before we inflate it. That gives us the go-ahead that it's secure in its space, and then we'll inflate it, and then once that is done, we'll undo all the carabiners and get this orange line on top tied in the same fashion, and then this will be secured to the capsule, and the astronauts can safely take their first steps out of the capsule onto the front porch.
Okay, and how long will it take them to set up the stabilization collar?
We should definitely be able to handle this in under 10 minutes.
Okay, wow. And then you just mentioned the front porch. So basically after they set up this stabilization collar, then they set up what's called the front porch here.
That's correct.
Okay, and what's the front porch?
Front porch is basically a bigger waiting room for the astronauts to sit in while we wait for the helicopters to show up and grab them.
Okay, so the medical team that was inside with the crew, they're going to help them out and onto the front porch?
That is correct.
And then what happens here?
We have higher trained medical personnel also on board the front porch that will give them lookovers and just make sure they're okay while we wait for the helicopters to show up.
Okay. How does it feel, I mean, your team, you, to be part of a mission that's returning astronauts from the moon in more than 50 years?
We all feel extremely honored to be a part of this, as well as a bigger mission for the Navy and joining up with NASA to do great things.
Mm-hmm. And do you feel like you and your team are ready?
Yes, very ready.
Cool. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Once again, the recovery operations are continuing out in the Pacific. We shortly should see that life raft, the front porch, erected alongside the side hatch of the vehicle. A number of flight controllers have come into the flight control room to receive congratulations from entry flight director Rick Henfling. But we're going to stick with our operations out in the Pacific as we await the extraction of the 4 crew members who are reported to be in excellent condition. Again, while we stand by for that front porch to be erected alongside of the side hatch of the vehicle, let's go back to the USS John P. Murtha and Megan Cruz. Megan?
Hey, Rob. Pausing now to listen to some internal audio loops. Again, the operations team here on the ship communicating with everyone out on the water. It seems like currents are hindering them a little bit from unfurling and inflating the stabilization collar as well as the front porch. But again, the requirement to get the crew out within 2 hours of splashdown, plenty of time. So no concerns just yet. But as calm as the water looks, yeah, it looks like it's hindering the teams just a tad. You can see in some of our shots that side hatch still open. Again, inside there are now 8 people inside. 4 divers, Navy divers, all with medical training, each assigned to an astronaut each. Making sure that they're comfortable, feeling good. As you've heard us say in the broadcast, you know, they expect a little bit of discomfort. Again, these astronauts just traveled back to Earth at 25,000 miles an hour, a nearly 695,000 mile journey around the moon. If you think you get car sick. Again, 6 boats out there, lots of gear with them, just in case, right? As we said, the crew reported feeling great, but again, all those folks out there in case they weren't, right? NASA is all about making sure we think about every situation that can happen, and so, of course, wanted to be ready in case any of our astronauts needed more medical attention while out there in the water. You see now teams, again, trying to set up the stabilization collar and front porch for the crew to get out of Orion. They need both, right? The stabilization collar will keep Orion from swaying as you see it is doing now. And then they will connect the front porch to the stabilization collar so that the crew can take 2 steps and they will be in the front porch. Not a lot of chatter on the mission audio loops. That's a good thing. Again, things proceeding pretty nominally, even if they're fighting some currents out there on the Pacific Ocean. Again, the goal, setting up the stabilization collar and the front porch so that the crew can rest comfortably in the front porch, get placed into harnesses so that 2 helicopters can lift them off the front porch and onto the USS John Murtha here. The helicopters are going to take turns picking up an astronaut. So again, Helo 1 and Helo 2. Okay, and the recovery team here on the ship just got a report from the undersea medical officer who is inside the capsule with the crew. He is reporting all 4 members are green. All of our 4 astronauts, Reed, Victor, Christina, Jeremy, green, meaning they are feeling great, not the complexion of their skin. They are feeling great, happy to be home, and ready to be extracted as soon as possible. And so, as I was saying, we have 2 helicopters circling the activity you're seeing on the water right now. Each will take turns picking up an astronaut. So Hilo 1 will come on in, hover above the front porch, about 40 feet above the front porch. A Navy recovery specialist will be hoisted down into the front porch.
The restricted maneuvering doctrine is in effect.
Will connect to the first astronaut, which we're expecting to be Christina. And then Hilo 2 comes around, picks up Jeremy, while Hilo 1 stays above head. And then Hilo 1 will come back in for another astronaut, and then Hilo 2 for the last astronaut, and then back to the flight deck here on the recovery ship. I was talking to Assistant Artemis Recovery Director Paul Sierpinski. He said helos are a much quicker, safer way to get on board. They did actually consider boats, but then if you think about it, longer time, the crew would have to move through more of the ship. This way the helos will give a more direct, quicker route to the medical bay for our 4 astronauts. Beautiful shots from our aerial and imagery teams. Clouds have dissipated for a clear view from the bow of the recovery ship here. You can still see divers in the water there. Encircling Orion, that is that stabilization collar we've been telling you about. As you saw in that interview just a few minutes ago, they have to first connect it to Orion, and then once it's secured onto Orion, they can inflate it, and then they'll further secure it with other harnesses and lines. About an hour and 10 minutes since splashdown in the Pacific Ocean here. Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy back home after a history-making mission to the moon and back. And if you missed what we said just a couple of minutes ago, the undersea medical officer inside with the crew in Orion reporting all 4 crew members feeling great. Progress being made there on the stabilization collar. It looks like they are beginning to inflate it. And it looks like they're starting to unfold the front porch in order to get that into the water here shortly and inflate that as well. Again, more than 40 people out in the water right now. And those Navy and NASA personnel have been in the water for now about 4 hours. The reason why they had to get out so early is just to stage everything. And actually here on the ship, when there are flight operations happening, you can't have anything else, right? Just because the flight deck can be a dangerous place, so they just want to focus on planes coming and going from the ship, so that's why they wanted to get the boats in the water to make sure that they have all the time they needed for the flight ops. And then the same crew here out in the water, they will stay out in the water for a number of hours after we recover the crew and get them back on the ship, because then they have to recover Orion. All right, that stabilization collar looking good around Orion. We're now seeing some recovery personnel getting on to that collar. Again, they need to further attach it to Orion to make sure that it can really prop up the spacecraft. It's basically lifting it up off of the water just a tad. Again, so it's not so so it doesn't sway so much in the water there. And now that front porch looks like it's nearly fully inflated as well. You can see a much larger surface area. And so once the crew get out of Orion, they can stretch their legs a little bit on this front porch, get some fresh air. And enjoy this beautiful day here on their home planet. It appears teams now are about to connect the front porch to the stabilization collar. And at that point, when both are secure, we should soon see astronauts come out of Orion. All these views you see also being fed to the Landing Force Operations Center here on the ship. Of course, it is very important for our recovery teams leading the mission to have all the views that you're seeing as well. Again, listening to their communication loop here on the ship. Very quiet, which is a good thing. It means things are going pretty nominally, meaning as expected. Again, all this activity happening just 3,000 yards away from the ship. So that means this will be a very quick flight back on the helicopters for the crew. 2-3 minutes, and then they'll be back here on the ship.
I know.
Okay, saw a thumbs up from one of the personnel on the front porch. It looks like they are now getting ready to deploy what they call the Air Rescue Vest, ARV. And so this is the harness that each crew member will get into in order to be hoisted into the helicopters. Again, those helicopters hovering just about 40 feet above the front porch when they're ready to pick up each crew member.
This is Mission Control Houston. Behind me, a fairly raucous scene as hundreds of flight controllers have poured into the flight control room here. This is reminiscent of the scene after the final shuttle mission of STS-135, although that was the end of a program. This is only the beginning of a program with the textbook splashdown of Integrity and its 4 astronauts. We're standing by for the crew to be extracted from the spacecraft. Entry Flight Director Rick Henfling invited all of these flight controllers who have contributed to this mission to enter the flight control room to have an opportunity to receive well wishes and to share the mutual glow that exists in the wake of a textbook mission for Integrity. On the front screen here in Mission Control, a sign that says "Welcome Home Integrity, taking humanity back to the moon, going further, and returning safely to Earth." So all of that jubilation, part of the post-splashdown activities, even as we await the crew being extracted from the vehicle to be hoisted onto Navy helicopters for the trip back to the USS John P. Murtha. Once again here in Mission Control, this view of the Artemis flight control room, known as the White Flight Control Room. This is the old shuttle flight control room, and now is the home of Artemis missions to the moon and beyond. Once again, quite a few flight controllers were invited in by Entry Flight Director Rick Henfling to share in the jubilation following the successful splashdown of Integrity That splashdown occurring an hour and 22 minutes ago as we stand by for the completion of the extraction of the crew, and ultimately they're hoisting onto Navy helicopters for a short flight back to the USS John P. Murtha. Splashdown occurred at 7:07 and 27 seconds p.m. Central Time. I had an opportunity to talk to the head of flight dynamics, Jeff Birch, a moment or two ago. He said the trajectory of Integrity coming through the Earth's atmosphere was so precise, they've never seen anything line up on a ground track like today's entry by Integrity for its splashdown southwest of San Diego. And the initial, you can hear it. Jubilation here in the flight control room. The first crew member is out of Integrity. We are expecting the other crew members momentarily to be extracted. We now have 2 crew members out. Two crew members out, 2 to go. We're about 1 hour from sunset out in the Pacific. Everything continues to go well. Integrity's systems function perfectly during its entry back to Earth. And Reed Wiseman, the commander who will be last out of the vehicle, reported that all the crew members were feeling very well. Crew member number 3 now out. And now standing by for the commander, Reed Wiseman, who will be last out of his ship. Bobbing in the Pacific under almost ideal conditions, Integrity spanned 694,000 miles during its journey from launch to splashdown. And we now have Reed Wiseman out of the vehicle, all 4 crew members now out of Integrity. Once again, all 4 crew members now on the front porch, and the procedure to begin hoisting them up to these 2 Navy helicopters hovering overhead will begin shortly.